If you're a beginner looking to make thousands a month Vinted reselling, then here are 10 essential items that you need when you're starting out. So I'm Baston, full-time content creator and reseller doing 6 figures in this space. Everything I'm about to recommend you is stuff that I actually have, stuff that I actually use. And if I was starting out, this is something I wish someone would have told me. Vinted reselling has become really popular over the years, and a lot of people are showing you how much money they're making, the stock that they're buying. But I don't really see videos online telling you guys about the mistakes to avoid and what you should actually know before you begin. Instantly, we're starting off with one of the most important things you need, which is a spreadsheet tracker. Now in business, the most important thing is how profitable your actual business is. So you need to understand every income and every outgoing. When it comes to reselling, especially nowadays, it's really easy to make money online, but you need to understand the fundamentals, how much money you're spending and how much money you're making. And if you don't track the numbers, you're purely going to be guessing, and guessing doesn't make you thousands a month. Now my girlfriend's kindly made you guys a free resale tracker that I'm going to link you guys down below. I'm going to quickly run you through it because it's got all of the essentials that you need. On the inventory tracker, you've got the item, you've got the quantity, and also the cost price. The uploaded tab over there is just optional for if you've actually uploaded item or if you've not uploaded items. And with the notes section, you can detail any flaws with the product if there are any. Then we have the sales tracker element, which is one of the most important parts. Here you'll be able to see all of your sales, the item, the date uploaded, the date sold, whether it is sold or not, the cost price, price listed, and the actual sale price. And what we really want to know is how much profit that you've actually made. Now, before you use the spreadsheet, click File, then you click Make a Copy. That way you're going to be able to actually edit the spreadsheet. And then when you're on the spreadsheet, you can input on the items. For the item, we're just going to call it elasticity. We're going to run through the date uploaded area, and date sold, we're going to put this as 01/01/2026 as well. And then on the sold area, you can just mark this off as sold. Cost price, we'll say it cost £12. Price listed at £20. And then here is the actual sale price. So when you put the actual sale price in, let's say £30, it will show you the profit of £18. And you can also see the total cost that you spent on products and also the total profit that you've made from products as well. This automatically just calculates it when you're inputting it through the spreadsheet. In the notes area, on the sales area, if there's any issues with the product, for example, if there's a return, you can just mark it out and say, oh yeah, this product has been returned. Now on the spreadsheet, when you scroll through, you'll see there's about 2,000 tabs. If you need any more, you can just copy and paste and it will add, and it will still have your profit and also total cost as well. Or you can copy the specific sheet and paste it onto another tab, and the formula will just do the same thing in terms of the profit and the losses. Like I've said, a spreadsheet is a key thing you need so you understand the profitability of your actual business. Especially when you're starting out reselling, it's key that you understand you need to minimize your losses. So we're trying to make as much money as possible so then we're able to scale quicker. If you're looking to make thousands monthly from reselling, you're not going to do that without having the one simple basic of a spreadsheet. I can't stress to you guys enough how key it is to have a spreadsheet and track every single thing. I so wish I had this when I was starting reselling, because it would have been easier to scale from £1,000 to £5,000 to £10,000 and plus. Trust me guys, spreadsheets will be the key to your success if you're tracking everything. There's no way you can fail. Now let's move on to number 2, which is a consistent supplier, because the consistent stock that you have means more consistent sales. This could be getting stock from abroad, getting stock from a Vinted supplier, or just using a Vinted Monitor. Fundamentally, it's all the same. The more consistent stock you're able to get, the more consistent sales that you're able to make. And if you're looking to make thousands monthly, then you need to be getting stocking pretty consistently. In one of my previous videos, we've spoken about charity shops, thrifting, and also using a Vinted Monitor. There's also the aspect of using wholesalers or using a supplier abroad or supplier websites. But if you want more videos breaking this down step by step, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and drop me a comment letting me know to make that video. Personally, for me, I like to diversify how I get stock, because you can never just be too reliant on one source. For me, the best ways I get stock is using a supplier abroad, also thrifting abroad, and also getting stock from wholesalers in the UK. When you're selling a variety of different stock as well, you need different supplies. For example, one's for bread and butter, one's for hype products. But when you're starting out, focus on one niche and focus on trying to just get one supplier for that category. Now, talking about stock, another thing that I would recommend that you get is a Vinted Monitor. This is another essential that I'd really recommend beginners start out with, because it's an easy way to be able to acquire stock consistently. Realistically, all you need with a Vinted Monitor is time and a little bit of capital. You can start with as low as £50. The aim with a Vinted Monitor is to snipe items at a cheap price and just be consistently flipping week on week. Having done Vinted reselling, it's so easy with a starting price of around £100 to easily turn that into £500. And with a Vinted Monitor, this is how beginners are able to compete with people that have suppliers. Because if you're buying consistent stock using Vinted Monitors and you're having hauls come in, you're basically your own supplier. You're able to buy as much stock as you want. Of course, it's dependent on the capital that you have, but even with a smaller budget, the snipes are endless. The main Vinted Monitor that I use is Reseller's Paradise. That's been like my go-to Vinted Monitor. What I like about it is the fact that you can easily just filter a bunch of different things, and it just makes life so much easier. If anyone's looking to get a Vinted Monitor, I'm going to put the one that I use in the description. Now, when you're getting a lot of orders on Vinted and you're making a lot of profit, one thing people fail to tell you is how busy it actually gets. Think about it. You've got thousands of parcels, thousands of different labels. So how are you actually going to be able to get all all of this stuff out without making an issue. That's where number 4 comes in, which is a label printer. The one I've got in my hand is one I've been using for like 3 years now, which is just a standard Moonbin printer. The good thing about this label printer is the fact I'm able to print labels off of my phone, so it's just so much easier when it comes to Vinted. All I need to do is screenshot the actual label, minimize it, and then just print it off on the label and then stick it on the item. There's so many different label printers you can get on Amazon, but this is the one that I would recommend due to the fact that I've used it. I would say if you're looking to get a label printer, make sure you read the reviews, but it's something I would recommend because this has made my life just so much easier in terms of getting parcels out or not having a mess up. One of the stupidest mistakes I made when I was younger reselling was the fact that I was using an ink printer to print off my labels. Like, do you know how dumb that is when there's literally thermal printers that cost 0 ink? With this, all you do, you put the label in and then the heat just prints it off. That's literally it. Back in the day, I was buying HP ink, which was costing me like £20, man, just for ink. So yeah, please don't be like me. Make sure you buy a thermal printer. Now, the 5th thing is having a clean backdrop. Ever since I switched to having a cleaner backdrop, my sales have just instantly increased. Because you've got to deep it, the photos sell the item before anyone even looks at like the price or the description. So if your photos aren't good and the background isn't nice, no one's really going to click on the item to find out more about it. And the easiest way to have interest in your product is just having a clean backdrop. If you've got a nice wood floor in your house, use that as a backdrop when you're taking photos. But if like me, some areas of your house are just like not good for taking photos, then get some laminate flooring. Some places in the UK that do like flooring, you can go there and ask for a tester of laminate flooring. Obviously, just get a cutout that will fit like a standard item, like a t-shirt, a pair of jeans. That's an easy way that costs £0 that you're going to be able to get a banging background for your photos. Don't say I don't put you man on, because this is a little gatekept method that I've been doing it for a few years now. I forgot to mention, guys, you can also use Photo Room to change backgrounds. There's different like background effects. For example, you could use like this wood effect on your background. But it's all good having a clean background, but you need to have number 6, which is lighting. Bad lighting on places like Vinted, eBay, and Depop just kills your sales instantly. If the item's badly lit, then yo, instantly you can just say bye-bye to making any sort of profit. We've spoken about this before. You need to make your product stand out, and how better way than making sure that the item looks good on a flat lit. Now, one thing, don't buy lighting on places like Amazon, because they're just gonna overcharge you for stuff you get way cheaper elsewhere. My light that I just bought off eBay, but majority of the lights you're gonna see online are drop shipped. If you want a cheap studio light, go on places like Alibaba or AliExpress and you can literally just find a bunch. But if like me, sometimes you can't be bothered to wait like a few weeks for it to arrive, just go on eBay, because eBay is going to be way cheaper than just buying it on Amazon. Now, another thing that's really helped boost my sales is focusing on the item quality itself. So the 7th essential is getting a garment steamer. With a garment steamer, all you've got to do is hang the item up on garment steamer, which is just way more time efficient. It's great for products that are thinner, and it's great for products that you don't want to potentially damage with an iron. And this ties in with making the item look as good as possible. You don't want any wrinkles, for example, on the item. But when you're reselling and you're getting thousands of products in, you don't want to be ironing every single one. So when a garment steamer is in play, trust me, it cuts your time down so drastically. Staying on the topic of trying to make your items go well, we're going to talk about the 8th essential. And the 8th essential is a fabric shaver. If you've got products like knitwear, which I would recommend you sell brands like Ralph Lauren, when you have those items in hand, a lot of them are just going to be bobbly. So when it comes to bobbly items, this garment shaver just helps so much. You remove all of the fluff, excess material without having to damage the product. All you need to equip this is batteries as well. So it's a really easy and handy product to have on hand. Now, number 9 is another essential that you need for your products, and that's having a lint roller. With Vinted Reselling, you're going to be getting a lot of secondhand items to be able to sell on the platform, because if you don't know, Vinted is predominantly a platform that pushes secondhand items. If you're buying new products on Vinted, it's not really going to be pushing the algorithm as well as opposed to secondhand ones. And with the nature of secondhand products, they're going to be very dirty when you get them. But this is really good because some products where you can't use a fabric shaver, the lint roller just helps you remove any hairs, for example, on it. Ever since I got the fabric shaver and the lint roller, it's helped so much with getting less returns on Vinted. These two as well literally take like 2 seconds to use to make a product look good. Now, the last thing and the very important part is having cheap, inexpensive bags. One huge mistake a lot of resellers make is buying very expensive shipping bags from places like Amazon and eBay. Let me tell you now, there's nothing wrong with buying your shipping bag from Amazon and eBay, but they're just way more expensive than they should be. And when you're selling thousands of products, these costs are just another cost that's going to add up to your total profit losses. But that's why you should be getting cheap, inexpensive shipping bags that don't really cost too much. The cheapest way, of course, to get them is from China. This takes longer to arrive, but it means you're going to be paying pennies when it comes to shipping bags. All of these factors, like the small little cost like shipping bags, is an important factor for you to make thousands a month. But especially when you're starting out, you need to make it low cost as possible to be able to send the product out. Now, as a beginner reseller, if you're starting out with not a high budget, you don't need every single thing on this list. But when you're getting into it a few months and you're making more profit, I would recommend that you have all of these in your arsenal. And if you've been reselling for a lot of years, but you don't have all of these things, I don't know what you're doing, and I hope you actually go and get these after you've watched this video. And if you don't have the first thing which I told you about, which was a spreadsheet tracker, then today needs to be the day that changes. Now, those have been the 10 essentials that you actually need. These are all, in my opinion, worth the money. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.